can you give me the kind of, I suppose, the brief kind of breakdown of the business, exactly what you do?
Yeah, so I suppose my own name, as you said, is Cillian O'Malley. I'm the founder of Blend Go. Blend Go was founded in June 2020 while I was studying full-time in college. It was built around our main product, our portable blender. So we'd like to think that we're a well-known brand in Ireland now at this stage. It's been 4 years growing to that stage, and we've since developed a number of other product ranges, such as our tumblers and our recipe books and things like that. So like anything, it was slow enough to start. It took a while to build, but we're now, thankfully, we've kind of grown to a level where we're stocked in a number of pharmacy chains across the country. And as I said, I'd like to think that we're kind of a relatively well-known brand across Ireland now at this stage. So yeah, we're growing year on year, so things are going well, and particularly this time of year now with Black Friday and Christmas sales and all that kind of stuff going on, it's quite a busy time of year. So all going well, thank God.
Perfect. Where did the idea come from?
For the portable blender, I suppose it was lockdown when I started the business, and that gave me a bit of time, a small bit of a break from college to just kind of, I was doing a bit of thinking myself, and I was always kind of big into sports and the gym and things like that, and I kind of thought to myself as I was making up my protein shakes and smoothies in the mornings that has to be kind of a quicker and easier way about making them, especially for the days I was in college or my part-time job and stuff like that. So I did a bit of research, and there were similar products in the US that were doing well, but I couldn't find anything in the Irish market that had that convenience factor to it.
Yeah.
So I went about kind of researching it myself, and kind of got in a few samples of different types of products to do that for me, and I just went from there, and kind of that's where the idea came from. It's no kind of major
Yeah.
success story or anything like that, but just one of those products that I saw a gap in the Irish market for, and a product that I use myself, and I found convenient for myself. So I thought that there's other people out there that could use
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's generally the best place to get an idea from, isn't it? Challenge you've had. Is there any other people in Ireland doing that product now? In other words, a portable blender you don't need to plug
In
in.
Ireland, there's other companies since we launched in 2020 that have come into the Irish market, I suppose, kind of well-known brands in the kind of household
Yeah.
products. There's no other Irish-owned company. We're the only Irish-owned company that kind of provide this product in the Irish market.
Yeah. And how do you deal with that? Because like, so those blenders with the kind of that recognizable jugs, you know, that you can kind of do one or two portions, they're obviously like all over. Like, it seems like anytime you go into any of the supermarkets, you see a different kind of type of them. Now, obviously, your one is very different in terms of portable. But you mentioned there are other guys doing it. How do you deal with the idea of competition and competitors, and what's your take on that?
Well, yeah, competition. I suppose there's pros and cons to competition in business. The way I kind of look at it is that competition, it keeps you on your toes and keeps you thinking, and it brings a challenge that brings the best out of you. Like I'd often analyze my competition and see what they're doing and see if there's ways that I can do it better, get ideas from them, and I suppose I see it as a probably a benefit in business. Without competition, I suppose business would probably be boring nearly, without competition. So it keeps you thinking and keeps you kind of generating new ideas and finding ways to beat the competition. So yeah, I see competition as a positive, to be honest.
Cool. And if you went back just over 4 years ago when you started the business in 2020, and I suppose your visions and your thoughts and your hopes and aspirations for where you'd be, fast forward to now, I suppose how is it compared to your expectations?
I suppose starting it off, it was nearly kind of one of those kind of COVID projects that what studying full time in college at the same time. So it was kind of just a learning curve. I kind of saw it initially as a learning curve.
Yeah.
If it didn't work out, learn from it at least.
Yeah.
But it's done a lot better than I probably had anticipated in the early days. So like we're happy with how it's gone and where we are at the moment. We're a lot further than what I ever would have anticipated day one.
Any standout like highs and lows throughout the last 4 years?
There's been many, yeah. It's many highs and lows are probably standout. The standout high moment was certainly probably the Irish Times. We partnered recently with the Irish Times for their student rewards program. So they chose us as their partner for their student rewards program. For every student that subscribed to the Irish Times got a free blend and go with their subscription. So like even like the day out to Tara Street, their office block on Tara Street to finalise the partnership and things like that. And it was quite surreal walking into the Irish Times building and signing off on the partnership and things like that. So that was definitely a massive high moment. And then as for low moments, there's probably too many of them to pinpoint one. But I suppose it's when you come out the other side of the low moments is it makes you a person. So they're good things to have too.
Yeah. How did the Irish Times partnership come up? Did you reach out to them or?
They actually got on to me, and funnily enough, I missed the email originally. It was a busy period for us, and the inbox was flooded with lots of emails, and the email came through. He reached out to us and through the contact us
the
form.
Portal, the online form.
Came in as a general customer query. So I nearly missed it, and it was only about a week or two later that I was just clearing the last few emails out of the inbox, and thankfully I clicked into that one, and it caught my eye, the Irish Times, and I got straight back to him. And thankfully I wasn't too late getting back to him, and it took us a few months of communication and sorting out a few different things to get it over the line. But they were keen to work with us, and we were obviously keen to work with them. So it worked out in the end, thank God.
Billy, just from looking at it from your business from afar, without knowing it in detail, that's one area that you seem to do very well is kind of like partnerships and collaborations. Like I said in the intro, kind of you do a lot of stuff with influencers and people in the fitness industry and stuff. Is there any kind of dream collaboration that you'd love to do?
I probably haven't talked too much of in terms of a dream collaboration. Like recently we've collaborated with a few brands now recently, like Vita Coco, the coconut water brand. We did a partnership with them, like a co-branded partnership. So their logo, we printed their logo on the cup part of the blender, and then obviously our everything stays the same on the base. So collaborations like that are for us. And associating ourselves with the likes of the Irish Times and Vita Coco and things like this, it gives us great brand awareness, and it's something that we're keen to progress over the coming years and over the coming months and years, and those kind of collaborations.
What is the long-term goal for the business? Like where do you see yourself being in the future?
So I suppose the short-term goal is probably to increase our retail presence. So we're in a number of pharmacy chains at the moment, but we'd like to kind of get into more kind of supermarkets and different kind of shops. It's just the pharmacy chains that we're in at the moment. And then long-term, we have a new product range that we're working on. It's the very early stages at the moment. I won't say too much about it, but
you won't give me the scoop, no.
It's a product that it's something different to anything we've done before.
Right.
Very different, heading towards the food industry. So it was like obviously our portable are all about convenience and making smoothies more convenient. So this new product, if we can get it off the ground, will take the convenience of making smoothies to a whole new level. So it's exciting times, but it'll be a challenge to get it going. If we do, though, I certainly see a huge gap in the market for it. So I suppose that's our long-term goal. We'll be putting a lot of focus on that in the new year.
When was it kind of, I won't ask you about that business, but when would it be kind of next year, late next year, looking to launch that? Or
it wouldn't be a quick turnaround in terms of getting it onto market. It would be it would take a good few months to the bones of a year to develop and get it out there. But hopefully we plan kind of really starting the research of it in early 2025, and then by the end of 2025, we'd hope to have certainly on a small scale, bring it onto the market in a small scale, and then grow from there with it.
Deadly. Final question for you, Cillian. So I speak with a lot of restaurant, cafe, bar owners on here, and the one thing that often comes up is the challenges in that industry with the VAT and the budget and stuff. I speak to some. I've had some, people that have food products on supermarket shelves, and obviously there's real challenges there with margins and stuff. In terms of your business, which is maybe somewhat similar to the food product, but it's obviously different. What sort of and then obviously you do a lot of stuff online, direct to consumer and stuff, which I'd imagine the margin's going to be much bigger because you're not getting that cut. Is it a very what are your challenges, I suppose, in that type of business, financially?
Yeah, well, I suppose VAT was a big killer when obviously we reached the threshold and had to register for VAT, because initially the brand was built without having to factor in the
of course.
And then when we did have to factor in the VAT aspect,
margin cut
our prices too much, because we found our optimum price point that we wanted to maintain, so to incorporate in that VAT expense to not lose out too much on margin was tough, and still it's tough, to be honest. VAT's a huge killer, but like that, even costs of shipping, costs of everything have been going up recently. So margins have been impacted, and like that, it's hard to add the cost on the customer as well. We don't want to do that, so we've bared a lot of costs ourselves in that respect. I suppose costs going up is our biggest challenge, and always is. And then managing stock as well is another huge challenge of ours. So periods like this now, Black Friday and Christmas, any delays with shipping cause a massive disruption for us with stock. So managing stock and making sure there's enough stock there in the warehouse to go out to meet demand is another challenge inside of the business.
Perfect. Do you have your own do you source from someone else, or do you have your own stock warehouse, or how does that work?
In terms of storage of stock, we have a fulfillment center that look after. Moved to a fulfillment center about 2 years ago. Up to then, I was doing it myself, but I didn't have time to do it any longer. So we outsourced to a fulfillment center, which has been a great benefit to us. So we started. That's in Galway. They're based in Galway, so all our orders are processed and dispatched from Galway and delivered across Ireland in 1 to 2 working days. So that's a great benefit.
Lovely, deadly. Cillian, thanks so much. I hopefully we'll get you back on when you have that new product out there, and I'm intrigued to know more about that. But thanks a million for joining me.
25 pin me in for that. So
yeah, cheers, man. Thanks a million, Cillian. Chat to you.